The story of the Roman centurion, recorded in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, stands out as one of the most extraordinary moments in the New Testament. In a brief yet profound encounter, the faith of this pagan soldier astonishes even Jesus Christ himself. This account is not only a testimony of humility and trust, but also a powerful lesson about authority, faith, and the universal reach of God's love and salvation. To fully grasp the significance of this event, it is essential to understand the historical and cultural context. A centurion was a Roman military officer responsible for commanding approximately 100 soldiers. In the eyes of the Jewish people, Roman centurions represented occupation, oppression, and injustice. They were symbols of a foreign power that dominated their land. Yet, in this account, a Roman officer, an outsider to the covenant of Israel, emerges as an example of faith, humility, and understanding of Jesus' divine authority. The story begins when the centurion seeks Jesus' help. His servant, someone he deeply values, is gravely ill and suffering terribly. In Matthew 8 verse 6, the centurion says to Jesus, "Lord, my servant lies at home paralyzed, suffering terribly." The first surprising detail in this story is the centurion's care for his servant. In Roman society, servants were considered disposable property, easily replaced. However, this centurion's compassion reveals his humanity and his love for those under his care. Jesus' response is immediate and unexpected. He says, "Shall I come and heal him?" Matthew 8 verse 7. This willingness to go to the centurion's house is remarkable. For a Jewish teacher, entering the home of a Gentile was considered unclean according to Jewish customs. By offering to heal the servant, Jesus breaks cultural and religious barriers, demonstrating that his mission transcends all boundaries. His love and compassion extend to everyone, regardless of race, nationality, or social status. What happens next is the heart of the story. The centurion, with great humility and profound faith, replies, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof. But just say the word, and my servant will be healed." Matthew 8 verse 8. This statement is extraordinary. First, it demonstrates the centurion's deep humility. Despite his high rank and position, he acknowledges his unworthiness before Jesus. For a Roman officer to address a Jewish teacher with such respect was unheard of in that time. This humility reveals a heart that recognizes the greatness and authority of Christ. Second, the centurion reveals a profound understanding of authority. He continues, "For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, 'Go,' and he goes, and that one, 'Come,' and he comes. I say to my servant, 'Do this,' and he does it." Matthew 8 verse 9. The centurion draws a parallel between his authority over soldiers and Jesus' authority over sickness, life, and death. He understands that Jesus does not need to be physically present to perform a miracle. A single word from Jesus is enough to change everything. This declaration of faith amazes Jesus. Matthew records that Jesus turns to those following him and says, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith." Matthew 8 verse 10. These words carry profound significance. In a culture where the religious leaders of Israel frequently doubted Jesus, a Gentile, someone outside the covenant, demonstrates a faith so pure and complete that it becomes an example for all. Jesus then says to the centurion, "Go. Let it be done just as you believed it would." And Matthew concludes, "And his servant was healed at that moment." Matthew 8 verse 13. The servant is healed instantly, proving the power of Jesus' word and confirming the centurion's unshakable faith. In Luke's Gospel, Luke 7 verses 1 to 10, we find an additional detail. The centurion does not approach Jesus personally but sends Jewish elders to speak on his behalf. The elders intercede for him, saying, "This man deserves to have you do this, because he loves our nation and has built our synagogue." Luke 7 verses 4 to 5. This detail highlights the centurion's respect for the Jewish faith and his generosity toward the local community. He is not just a man of authority but also a man of compassion and goodwill. The story of the Roman centurion teaches us profound spiritual lessons. First, it challenges us to embrace true humility. The centurion, despite his power and status, approaches Jesus with reverence and humility, acknowledging his own unworthiness. This attitude invites us to come before God with humble hearts, recognizing our need for him. Second, the centurion's faith reminds us of the kind of trust that pleases God. He does not demand signs, physical evidence, or Jesus' presence. Instead, he believes that the word of Christ is enough. In a world where doubt often clouds our faith, the centurion's example inspires us to trust in God's promises completely. If Jesus speaks, his word is true, and his power is limitless. Finally, this story reveals the universal nature of God's love and salvation. The fact that Jesus praises the faith of a Gentile points to the reality that his kingdom is open to all who believe, regardless of background, nationality, or social standing. The centurion's faith foreshadows the mission of Jesus to bring salvation to the entire world. The Roman centurion, a soldier of authority and power, understood something that many around Jesus did not: the power of a single word from Christ. His story stands as an eternal reminder of what it means to have faith, faith that trusts without seeing, faith that humbly recognizes God's authority, and faith that believes in the power of Jesus' word. If you liked this video and want to know more about the characters that surrounded the life of Christ and formed the rich biblical story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and send this video to your friends. Turn on notifications to know when new videos come out.